Bugha's setup is like nothing I've seen before, and in this video we will be talking about it. We'll be talking about his keyboard, his mouse, and his crazy monitor. Boys, this is the World Cup winner, and you would think he has the best setup in the whole entire game. Well boys, we will find out in this video. We will also talk about his PC tweaks. His PC runs so smoothly. Every single time he's scrimming or playing any game, he runs 360 frames with the lowest input delay. And don't worry, all of you watching this video, I will share it with all of you just to make sure you get the highest frames possible and the lowest input delay. All I ask for in return is if you can quickly head down, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and also leave a comment what other pro setup you want me to talk about, and I will talk about them. But boys, let's get straight into his setup and his PC tweaks. And boys, the first thing on the list will be his mouse, and his mouse is genuinely going to shock so many of you because so many pros in Fortnite play with the Logitech G Pro Superlight. Literally 70% of pros do. Well, Bugha is playing with the Razer Viper V3. I know so many of you in the comments right now are going to be so happy he is using this mouse, but in my opinion, genuinely, this isn't the best mouse he can get. Honestly, I do think the Logitech G Pro Wireless is so much better than this, but some of the key benefits of the Razer Viper V3 is the lightweight. Boys, I go on about the weight of the mouse so much. The Logitech G Pro Wireless weighs about 60 to 70 grams. Well boys, the Viper V3 does win right here, as it does weigh 59 grams. That is literally so light, and in my opinion, and so many other pros, the lighter the mouse, boys, the better it feels. That is because the lighter the mouse, the more glide the mouse will have. And boys, if you have more glide on the mouse, obviously you're going to be hitting so many more shots. If you want to test your glide right now on your mouse, boys, literally get your mouse and try to spin it in a circle. If it feels like it's smooth, spinning in loads of circles, that means your mouse is actually very good. But if your mouse is a heavy mouse, literally can't do one spin, I would genuinely recommend upgrading to either the Razer Viper V3 or the Logitech G Pro Wireless. And now boys, let's move on to his keyboard. Like every other Fortnite pro, he has the Apex Pro TKL. Boys, you guys are probably thinking, Jinchi, why does literally every Fortnite pro have this? It is because it is by far the best keyboard in the game. And boys, if you don't agree, let me know in the comments what keyboard you think is better than the Apex Pro, and I'll let you know what I think of that. But boys, one of the main reasons I go on about this pretty much every video that the Apex Pro is so good is because of the activation point. Boys, if you have a normal keyboard, you press the key all the way down and that's where it fully activates. Boys, in the Apex Pro, you have to press it 0.2 millimeters. Boys, as long as your finger is pretty much on the key, it will press. That is why pros like Bugha, like Clicks, like Peterbots can edit so far, because they don't need to press the key all the way down. And if you guys want to test what your keyboard activation point is, or you genuinely just don't know, one way you can do it is just search your keyboard name and then search the activation point. It will literally pop up. If not, you can search a website, keyboard activation point tester, search that, slowly press your key down to where it activates, and it will literally tell you if it's 0.1 millimeters, which if you have 0.1, that is genuinely crazy, but most average it will be about 0.5 to 1 millimeter. And boys, lastly, his monitor. Boys, I'm not going to go in depth on his monitor. It is literally like every other Fortnite pros, 360 Hz, 0.5 millisecond, one of the best monitors in the game. But if you watched my last video, it is not as good as Mr. Savage. Boys, Mr. Savage's monitor, he has a 540 Hz monitor, which is crazy. Obviously, Bugha's monitor is still crazy good. Many of us watching this video, boys, you can't even run 360 frames in game. So if you want to upgrade to a 360 Hz monitor, I would not recommend that. Just stick to a 240 or 144. And now we're done with his peripherals, boys, let's go on to his Fortnite settings. Some of these settings are genuinely so weird. I would have this so different, but for his display, windowed mode, of course he's playing full screen. The only reason you would want to be playing windowed screen is if you're playing with a custom crosshair. Even so, I don't recommend it. If you play windowed full screen, it causes so much input delay. Just play full screen, just play with the normal crosshair. It genuinely does help your input lag so much. Also, his resolution, he's playing 1920 by 1080. He is playing the native resolution. So many pros playing stretch resolution soon, but genuinely, they are starting to switch back to native. So if you guys watching this video are playing stretched resolution, try switch back, see if you like it, as in my opinion, it has so much less input delay. Of course, if you're playing stretched, you do get a bit more frames as the quality isn't as good, but if the quality is not as good, you can't actually see that much in your game. As well, frame rate limit, he is playing 240 frames. See boys, not even Bugha's PC can get 360 frames to get with that monitor. That is crazy. That is why most of you should have a 240Hz monitor, not a 360 or a 540. On to his next bit of settings, his graphics. His brightness, 100%. I would genuinely change this to 150. 150% on the brightness makes you see so much more. I'm genuinely not sure why Bugha plays on that. User interface, contrast, of course he's playing 1x. If you're playing anything else but 1, you need to change it back to 1. But another thing, many of you watching this video, to see what colorblind mode you should play, Bugha has it off. Bugha now has it off. Peterbot also has it off. This is genuinely crazy. But if you do want to play with the colorblind mode, if you think it does help you, in my opinion, play Triton Rope. Play Triton Rope with the colorblind strength of 7 or 8. Try it out. If you genuinely don't like it, play with it off. So many pros are now playing with this off. Genuinely, you can see so much more. On to his graphics quality. His graphics quality, as you all know, you should have every single thing here on low. The low, of course, means your game does not look as good, but your input delay will be so much less, your frames will be so much higher, as your PC obviously doesn't have to process as much. The one thing, although, you do have to keep on high or even epic is the view distance. Bugha has it on medium. I genuinely don't understand why. He has to have it on epic. His PC can 100% have the view distance on epic. If you guys are thinking, why would you have the view distance higher? If you're landing from the battle bus, boys, if you have your view distance on low, all the guns are blurred and you have to try mark it to see what gun it is. But if you have your view distance on epic, you can see every single gun. All the pros have the view distance on literally epic or high. You guys need to turn it up. On top of this, you can see the storm tower if it spawns in. If it doesn't, genuinely just turn it up. It doesn't cause that much frame drop. And boys, on to this last part of the video, what his Windows optimizations are. So the first thing I want to show you is actually his Nvidia control panel. He has something on here, which genuinely most of you won't. So open this up. If you don't have an Nvidia GPU, I am sorry, you won't be able to do this. But once we're on Nvidia control panel, go on to adjust desktop size and position. Once we're on here, you have aspect ratio, full screen, no scaling. Most of you will be playing full screen, as obviously, if you're playing a game, you will want it in full screen. But what Bugha has is he has no scaling. This means there is the littlest input delay possible. Make sure you have the no scaling on. By far, this is the best option. The perform scaling on. You can either click GPU or display. Unless you have a 40 series, you do not click GPU, just click on display. It's pretty much the same thing. Of course, if you have a very good GPU, remember, click onto the GPU. But if not, click on display. Right here, override the scaling mode set by games and programs. You will want that ticked 110%. Resolution as well, if you're playing native, 1920 by 1080, the best resolution. You get no input delay on this one. Refresh rate as well, obviously you're going to want the highest refresh rate possible. Once you've done this, click apply. Okay, that is that done. Just make sure you do click no scaling, by far the best option. Once we're done with that, you can click the X, and now I want you to head over to the search bar, search GPU graphics settings will pop up. Every single pro that I've seen their setup now has this off. They're all starting to realize that this does actually give you input delay. The hardware accelerated GPU. I know you guys have seen the PC tweakers say to turn this on and to browse to find Fortnite and put it here. But boys, genuinely that causes more input delay. If you don't believe me, quickly turn this off, go on to Fortnite, and you will see your delay is so much less. Genuinely, go into creative and free build. It is 10 times better. Have this off. I know it says it reduces latency and improves performance. It just doesn't. It is just one of those Windows settings that is trying to scam you a little bit. Just have this off. You don't need to click apply. Click the X right here, and that is that tweak done for you guys. And boys, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like again. Please do subscribe. And again, just leave in the comments what other pros you guys want me to go through. I'm sorry there wasn't much Windows optimizations. Those are the only two that I found Bugha was sharing online. The others, obviously, I'm not allowed to know. All the pros are trying to have different settings to try the best. Well, boys, that is this video done. I will bring more videos further on this week.